Hello and welcome to the Bonus XP podcast. I'm your host Luke Morgan and I'm joined as always by Conan the Contrarian.
Hey.
And the man they call Mr. Minesweeper, Griner.
Mr. Minesweeper, that's me. That's me all over. I
That
do
was
love Minesweeper.
That was actually his father.
Oh, okay. Yes. Master Minesweeper then.
They just call me Sweeper.
PC exclusive game. If you're new to the show, what we do here is every fortnight, the three of us gather around the internet campfire and each bring forward a news item or topic from the gaming world that we deem worthy for discussion. But this week we will do something a little different. As we are all avid sports fans, this fortnight we will be doing our fantasy draft league for the rest of the year, only the last half of the year, because we're deciding to do it now. Didn't really plan it ahead, but
we just wanted to make
go.
sure all the games are confirmed for the rest of the year. That was what we were waiting on.
Exactly, and just ease into this before we get really competitive with it. The full draft will be next year, and that's when it's on like Donkey Kong, but we'll just see how we go for the rest of the year with 5 months remaining. Before we get to that, however, we will go around and discuss what we've been playing recently. And I feel like this will be the first podcast in 5 months where Elden Ring might not be a topic. Guys, has anyone not been playing Elden Ring this fortnight?
I started a new playthrough of Elden Ring.
Oh no, Griner, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, it's been a while since we talked about this. So, have you guys heard of a game called Into the Breach?
No, I haven't.
It's a very, very good game. It came out originally, let me just find, in 2018. One of my favorite games of the year in 2018. It's a squad-based, grid-based, turn-based strategy game. Where you control a team of mechs who must defend a city, and it's fascinating because this is not a new genre. XCOM is one of the big ones, and in XCOM your goal is to kill all the enemies. That's your goal. And so look, there's a lot of strategy behind that. You're picking out targets, making movements. In this game, your goal, you quickly learn, is just to defend the city. It doesn't matter if all your mechs survive with 1 HP. Your mech HP is a resource. Your city's HP is not, because every point of that has lasting consequences. And so a lot of the mechs then are designed around moving the enemy. And so every turn, the enemy basically makes their turn. They tell you exactly what they're going to do, and then your mechs respond. There's like a time travel mechanic in the story, and it's just really, really well done. And every move can be fully planned out, because you can see what the enemy's going to do. You can see the effects of your moves, and yet you still manage to somehow get yourself into situations where it's like, oh shit, I didn't realize that was going to happen. So many times that happens to me. It's an extremely good roguelike strategy game, and it just came to mobile in the last 2 weeks. Through Netflix, of all places. So if you have a Netflix subscription, you can get this game. If you go into your Netflix app right now on your phone, there's a games tab down the bottom that I didn't know about. Nobody has ever looked at.
I did see this the other day. Yeah.
And in that list is Into the Breach. Very, very good game. 100% recommend it. If you've got a Netflix subscription, and who doesn't, you should be downloading this game on your phone, because it's extremely good, and the mobile port is very, very good.
I wouldn't be able to play this on my TV, would I? Going through the Netflix app, or?
I don't know. I don't believe so.
I only saw that games tab when I went on Netflix on my phone the other day.
Yeah, it's only on the phone as far as I know.
Yeah, because I'd never seen it before, and I was like, oh, there's a games tab, but didn't check it out. But yeah,
there's a lot of stuff in there. But Into the Breach, 2018's nearly game of the year. It was extremely good, and I recommend you guys, if you're interested in a strategy game, get it. It's good.
My question is why. Sorry, you go.
I was just going to say, you do know Days Gone came out in 2018, right? That's not
right. Okay,
that's not throw game of the year.
You got your mention in.
Yeah, one per episode. Why would I play this game on Netflix when I could play the game Knittens, which is a pun on kittens and knitting?
Knittens might be extremely good. I'm not sure. There's a lot of stuff in there. I didn't look at anything else. I just heard that Into the Breach was on there. I'm like, ooh, I want to play that on my phone.
Next fortnight, all of us will have come back playing Knittens, and
maybe I'll give Knittens a go before the next podcast. The other thing I've been playing is, I think, 2017's game, not game of the year, but a 2017 game, A Plague Tale: Innocence. I wanted to get it done before Requiem. I knew it wasn't hugely long.
Was that 2017?
I believe so. Yeah.
5 years
right.
old.
Yeah.
That's nuts. That is crazy. That's crazy.
Let me just
I've been
double
meaning
check.
to check it out for 5 years.
That seems right.
Sounds about right. Yeah, actually.
2019. Apologies, 2019.
I was gonna say.
I thought it was like 2017 or 18. Yeah.
I mean, COVID. It seems like it's been a long.
There was
much
several.
longer.
We've been through 4 or 5 years of COVID, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a
yeah.
Conan game.
This is a Conan
Yeah.
game. I really enjoyed it. I want to say stealth games are stupid. Every stealth game has you like sneaking up behind. I love stealth games, but every stealth game has you sneaking up behind a guy 1 meter from his back, and he never notices you. It's the dumbest thing in the world, and this game does it a lot, I guess, compared to other games. It was what I will say, but it's enjoyable. I was surprised by the story. I thought it was just going to be these 2 characters, but you kind of end up with this ragtag group of, misfit renegade children who take down a whole religion. It's good. It's interesting. Conan, go ahead.
I was just going to ask. Obviously, when Conan's brought this up before, like the story seems to get a lot of praise. Gameplay seems to be the thing that held it back from reaching the heights that it could have. How did you find the gameplay? Was it a bit of a chore to play, or did you enjoy the
I
gameplay?
never really found it a chore. It's not hugely long, so I don't think it overstays its welcome too bad. I think it feels like the gameplay doesn't feel as fleshed out as it could be. And it's interesting because I went and watched the trailers for the sequel after I finished this game, thinking, I want to see what this game's going to be like, and they seem to be like pushing combat a lot, and there's there's a surprising amount of combat in this game. I was kind of expecting there not to be very much, but there are moments in this game where they're like, here's basically unlimited ammo for your sling, and a bunch of guys who aren't wearing helmets, so they're susceptible to this attack, just murder everyone in this camp. And it feels a bit weird, especially since one of the big themes in this is like the first time you kill a guy as Amicia, she's like having a moment, having a breakdown, feeling the effects of taking a man's life. And this has been something that has been explored a bit in games recently. I remember the Tomb Raider re-releases. The first time you kill someone as Lara Croft, she takes a moment. And even did it? Yeah, right. And even like The Last of Us Part 2, one of its big themes is this violence and the effects it has on Ellie and the cycle that brings. But I thought, man, this game, it had a really cool moment where she first kills this guy, and now you're sending me through a camp where you want me to kill everyone. Like, this feels really out of place. But then I feel like they kind of turn it around a bit later. There's a dream sequence, and you are chasing after your little brother because he's gone missing for a part of the game. And you're crawling, you end up walking through chasing after him through these rat tunnels, which are really gross and creepy. And then all the soldiers of the men you've killed along the way are lining the walls and the floor, and their arms are sticking up, and they're like holding you back from your brother. And I don't know, I just thought it was a really effective moment, a really effective look into Amicia's psyche. Did that moment stand out to you at all, Conan? Or
Yeah, like I played the game a few years ago now. At least a year ago now.
it was at the start of this podcast, I think. You played it?
Yeah.
That seems right. So it's been getting on. And yeah, so I don't remember all the specifics, but I rewatched that scene and got it, and I remember knowing that it was the thing. I don't know. I like dream sequences in games. I always like how they attempt to reflect and manifestate. Like they try to reflect the growth or the change of it. That scene was really good. It reminded me of there's another game that does something like that, and I'm trying to think what it was.
I'm going to discuss a game that did this very well. I know you haven't played it though. I've recommended it to you before, but I know you haven't played it.
Okay. Well, it's not Doom. There's no guilt in Doom. I don't know.
Man, there'd be a lot of them in Doom.
There's some game
demons.
There's some game where you go through some sort of hellscape or something, and it's a similar thing. It's like mountains of bodies, sort of thing, and it's the horror of that. No, I really liked it. It's a difficult thing to explore in video games. Like Far Cry 3 is the one that stands out to me, where a similar thing. The first time he kills a guard, he freaks out, and then literally with the next thing, he's like, "All right, here's your gun."
Yeah.
And it's like and you can just kill everyone you see. And he's like, "Oh man, killing's such a hard thing." It is really tricky to make a game where you sort of drip feed somebody the ability to kill.
Yeah.
So they always do this. They do a reliance on like, here's a cutscene that explains it, and now we just give you the option. I think the dream sequence is a good way of being like, we see the depth of it. We see how much your actions have actually done to this. So it portrays that really well. And I don't remember that sequence necessarily. It doesn't. You can't actually be stopped by them, can you? It's like
The whole sequence, you're just pushing forward. There's nothing to do. Yeah, it might as well be a cutscene. But I don't know. I thought it was an effective way to do it because you're right. Games have tried to do this a lot, and it's a weird thing to do in a game because half the gameplay revolves around killing people.
Yep.
But you need to think about all these people you're murdering. It's like, oh, there's a disconnect there, and I thought that was at least one way to handle it. That was pretty good.
Yeah, by showing showing it in a grotesque way, right?
Yep.
You see, oh, okay, it's not just the guard that I killed at the camp. It's like, here is a giant flesh wall of these guards that I've killed at camps. That's gross. That's frightening. It's a clever way to do it rather than just have a cutscene of her going, I'm really struggling with the people that I killed. Now let's go and kill some more people.
Question. So with this throughout the game, is it optional to kill these people? Like, is there a way to go through it non-lethal and avoid people, or do you have to kill a few
definitely
people?
To an extent, and a lot of the time you are trying to avoid people. There's definitely sequences where they want you to kill people, and there admittedly are a lot of sequences where it's easier to kill people, but you probably don't have to. And so you are in some cases making the choice, but there's definitely situations where it's like you're defending an area and there's just going to be guards coming at you and you need to kill them. There's nothing else you can do.
And it skirts it around a lot where there's moments where there's a guard with light keeping the rats at bay, and you have to distract the rats. So you knock his light out, he gets eaten, and you pass. So it's like, you didn't kill him, but you killed him.
His death.
And there's literally no other way past besides to do that. So
so what I believe might have been a big influence for this game, there's a game that does this very, very well, I feel like. And I've recommended it, especially to you, Conan. I feel like you will love this game when you play it. Metal Gear Solid 3. So in Metal Gear Solid 3, there is it's like a dream sequence, but basically there's a boss called the End, and he's this ghost. He's a guy that was killed many years ago, and you're walking down a river, and he's there floating. Now, in Metal Gear Solid, obviously, you can play this entire game without killing a single person. So you can do an entire non-lethal. So if you come up to this boss encounter and you haven't killed anybody, there's nobody in that river of sorrows, it's called, and you just you finish that level basically straight away. Like you can beat the boss.
Okay. It's pretty
Now, it will literally show you everything you've killed, like the exact guards, everything, the exact number. There will be that exact number of guards. So if you've killed two guards, the ones that you killed will show up as ghosts and and it'll take your health while you're trying to get pushed through to get to the boss. Every animal you've killed shows up. So there's like snakes, there's birds flying past and everything like that. But if you've killed hundreds of people, there is hundreds of ghosts. And that level will take you 15, 20 minutes to march through all these ghosts. And you have to keep taking rations because it's taking Snake's health down. And meanwhile, the main boss keeps shooting lightning attacks at you, which you don't get at all if you haven't killed anybody. And it's just
about this,
it's this entire thing to make you feel guilty, or you can just pass it completely by not killing anybody. It reminds me so much just hearing about it. But like I remember with Metal Gear Solid 3, it was the exact number of people that you'd killed up to that point in the game.
That's crazy that it records that info. And
it's really cool because obviously there was not achievements, but whatever they had for in-game rewards for playing the game and not killing anybody and stuff like that. So it gave you a stats page at the end of the game. Metal Gear Solid 4 didn't do something like it, but it did something as well where if you went, because obviously they're stealth games, but if you went on a killing rampage and you were just gunning people down with a machine gun, Snake would get this like PTSD flashback from his brother in the first game 20 years earlier saying, you enjoy all the killing, don't you? And then Snake like vomits, like goes on the ground and vomits because you've just murdered 100 people. And like, he's just like, oh God, I'm a monster. So I feel like that had to have been some influence in this. But
No, I remember. I've seen that sequence, and you're right. You are moving through them like that. Yeah, you're probably right.
Metal Gear Solid 3, I'll recommend it every chance I can get because I adore that game so much.
It is good. I just feel like it doesn't play as well anymore as it used to. The controls are strange.
It's the Metal Gear Solid game.
Hold down the circle button to aim your gun.
Yeah,
gross. I don't want
it's
to.
very PS2 controls.
And it's like if you release the circle button lightly, you won't fire a bullet.
But hold it in heavier. But it's also the worst one with Metal Gear Solid 3. It's like when you grab a guard and it's like lightly hold the square in to like hold him up, hold it in harder to slit his throat, and like people trying to hold them up and not kill anybody on their playthrough, like, please don't slit his throat. Like, oh no, I pushed it in too hard.
That's awful. That sounds awful.
Yeah, but so that's the game I really want from the Metal Gear Solid series to have a remake because I feel like it's the game that holds up the most. You don't need all the baggage from the other Metal Gear Solid games. It's set before all the other ones, so you can just play it fresh. And I feel like it has the most basic story without getting.
It has so many good moments in it too.
Yeah.
Like the end boss fight is amazing, and has been like copied so many times since then.
Yeah,
it's got an extremely long ladder sequence that's really, really good.
Yeah, that's right.
So many cool bosses. Like the sniper battle in that game is one of my favorite boss battles ever, and there's funny ways to get around that too.
Yeah.
But so interesting. But I'm definitely keen to check out this game. There's a part of me that just wants to watch it all on YouTube at this point. And
I mean, you wouldn't be missing a heap. The gameplay is nothing revolutionary, unfortunately. Like, it's fine. It's definitely serviceable.
I'm keen for the sequel though. So
it's an interesting thing because it's an indie game, so it feels that small budget, but it's trying hard to be a AAA. And so like cheaper or not cheaper, but smaller indie games have more almost flexibility to be like, we can reinvent gameplay, we can do anything we want, and there's freedom there. Whereas they kind of intentionally limited themselves. Whereas like we want to make a big budget AAA game that you expect, but we do not have the money or the time to make it there. So they've skimped on the gameplay itself, which is a problem, sure, but I still think it works.
There's good voice acting in it, and there's a lot of cutscenes, a lot more cutscenes than you probably expect in an indie game, like interacting between characters, things that are hard to animate, and you only use them once, so the budget for them is kind of wasted there. But they go ahead and do that stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
You played anything else?
No, that sums me up for the last little while.
Conan, have you played anything this fortnight?
What did I play this fortnight? Played a bunch of Slay the Spire because I'm in between games. I did play a little bit of Dead Space the original.
Can you explain that to us?
You guys ridiculed me.
What? We're 5 months from Dead Space remake. So what are you playing?
I need to refresh my memory. Isn't that only coming out on technically current gen? But
I believe so. Yeah, PS5, Xbox Series X.
Yeah, see, I don't have those, so there's a good chance I won't be able to play
it. You've got 6 months, man. You got Christmas coming up. You got your birthday.
Father's Day. There's always opportunities.
That's true. Your guys' merciless ridicule did make me stop and think for a second. Part of me likes the idea of checking it and to compare it, and then look at the remake.
It's not a bad
look at the remake and go, oh, they've changed a lot. It's really cool. Or be like, this is exactly the same. So I have paused that for a minute. I'm like, maybe I'll actually leave this because I also would really want to play Dead Space 2 again. But
not Dead Space 3?
Oh, that's the big one.
Do you have somebody to do co-op with you?
No.
How was your replay of Dead Space going?
Oh, it's good. Like the few hours I put into it, it's a great game. It's a lot of fun.
You use only the pistol the whole time?
I've already done that playthrough.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the only gun you need anyway.
It is, but I have an achievement on my 360 to get it to kill 30 with a flamethrower. So that's what I'm doing.
Fair enough.
I can't help myself in the game. I just need to bash every enemy to death, and that's a really bad way to play because it's just they're better than you, and I'm playing on hard, so I start bashing them, and I just get hit, and my health goes down, and I'm like, no, I can punch him to death. It's cool.
Yeah.
But besides that, no, I'm going to take on God of War next, I think, but I sort of wanted a break from a really long game.
Fair enough.
I wanted to play something a bit shorter first, and then get into it. So,
yes.
But I might just move on to that.
Well, once Conan does play God of War, we might do a Dad of War spoiler cast to discuss all of we can finally, the three of us, talk about God of War in depth before Ragnarok comes out in November. I'm very keen. I really do think you'll like it. I hope you do.
I'm sure I will.
And I think you'll find Kratos relatable. You know, you're a big, burly, muscly man with a beard.
Oh, when I shaved my head, it was uncanny.
I called you Kratos constantly. I couldn't separate the two. You know, just Kratos in my head.
Exactly.
So I haven't played too much this fortnight. I do remember a game I did play. I have actually been playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, the remake of it,
Mm,
because my son did. So it came
Yeah,
out
right.
free last week on PlayStation Plus. I bought it way back and then got rid of it because I wasn't playing it that much. But came out, so I re-downloaded it. My son, who's 27 this month, he loves skateboarding. He loves watching skateboarding videos. So
right on.
I downloaded that game for him, and he's been playing it non-stop. So we've been playing a lot of multiplayer matches, graffiti and like horse and all this old stuff that I used to play with my brother when I was a kid. Um, not gonna brag, but I'm totally wiping the floor with my son. Like in graffiti
Awesome.
today, it was like 28-2. I'm just better at it than him. I don't know what.
Don't
No,
know what
How long till he
contribute.
gives up and doesn't want to play anymore?
he's yeah, crush his skateboarding dreams. No, he's actually really good at it, and yeah. So I've been playing that, which is a lot of fun. It gives me nostalgia from the PS1 days of
That
when I
game is
played them.
both those games are so good. I love
Yeah,
that
I'm.
remake. I played a crap load of it.
I was disappointed when they announced recently that they were working on 3 and 4, and they've decided not to pursue it and stop development on it because 4 was like my one that I really
Yeah,
got
right.
into and played heaps of.
So I was gonna
Um,
say everyone's got one, and I didn't do any. I didn't touch anything past the first two.
It was 2 for me. Yeah.
Yeah, two was a
so
big one.
1 and 2, like, I remember watching my brother play all the time on PS1. Tony Hawk 4 was, like, my first PS2 game. When I got my own PS2, it was, like, my first
Mm.
game on my first console that I owned myself. So I just
Yeah.
got obsessed playing that game so much.
I remember a lot of guys in my year. Well, they were really into it. They're like, "Yeah, we love Tony Hawk's." Like they were playing heaps of Tony Hawk's 3 and 4, and I was just
Yep.
like, "Old news, boys, old news."
And American Wasteland. I really got into American Wasteland too. The fact you
You're the
could get off
guy.
your skateboard and run around, I was like, "This is so cool! Exactly what I want to do in a skateboarding game.
Exactly.
Run with my skateboard."
Awful.
um, Other than that, I watched my wife play through As Dusk Falls, which we did a spoiler cast for last fortnight. It was quite interesting to see a few different decisions and see outcomes that you guys had seen that I hadn't previously. So she confronted her wife on the text straight away, and her wife confessed to having an affair. So that was revealed. But much to my surprise, she so Jay got arrested just past the border up on the top of the mountain by a park
Weak.
ranger, not Vanessa's dad. It was a park ranger. And so this was a whole outcome I hadn't seen because my wife doesn't know how to talk to girls because she botched it with Vanessa very badly.
Right.
So Vanessa wanted nothing to do with Jay and peaced out before Canada, and she was like,
Crazy.
you're a weirdo. I'm out of here." And like ditched Jay because um she punched the dude at the party. So this is like
Right.
even
So this is
before she didn't even go and sit at the car. As soon as he said, "You better take a hike near the room," she punched him in the face. She was like, "No, she's on drugs. He's going to take advantage of her," and
yeah.
punched him in the face.
This is good. Take note if this ever comes up in real life where anything like this happens. You know now you got to
Violence.
punch. You got to punch the dude. You got to
Yeah,
punch him.
straight away. So she
Otherwise, she's
punched
leaving
him,
you.
and she didn't glass him. She didn't take it that far, but she still. And then when confronted about like, "Why'd you do that?" She was like, "I was trying to protect you." I'm like, "Oh, you don't say it. You don't put the blame like that." So she had wanted nothing to do with Jay. Um, wasn't a nice night under the stars like it was for us on the mountainside. And then
Oh,
Lame.
um, yeah, so Jay enters Canada alone. A park ranger has a talk to him, this old park ranger who we never meet in our playthrough.
Yeah, that's weird.
And they have a really good conversation. Like, you feel for this old park ranger who can tell that you're like the person they're looking for. And he's like, "Son, just give yourself up." He's like, "I've been working here for 70 years." Sorry, I need a cough. Sorry. And I've never had to use this gun. Don't make me use it now. So you have a choice to surrender there or to take a run up the cliff. She ran for it, runs up there, and you get to the thing where, you'd think, I'm like, okay, she's going to jump off the cliff by herself, like into the water.
Yeah.
But he gets in between you and the cliff, and the two options are surrender or push him over the cliff and
Oh, yeah.
murder this
Just
old
kill
man.
the bastard.
And she couldn't do that. She was like, "This is the actual murder. Jay hasn't killed anybody yet. This is actually murdering an old man." So she surrendered there, got put on death row. So she visited Jay in prison. Was gonna
Say, yeah, right.
watch. Was gonna watch. So yeah, the letters are coming from prison. She visits him the day before execution. He wants her to sit and watch the execution. He wants there to be someone who knows him there instead of nobody there. She
Dark.
decided to do that. But there's a call from the governor at the last second that saved his life. So I think because she was a good person for most of the playthrough and didn't murder anybody, it worked out like that.
Does it explain why there's a call?
No, it's just there's a call from the governor. You're saved, and then it goes to credits after like the normal ending that we get. So I don't know why the governor.
Sequel.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously he can be executed. So I don't know. I think it all depends on what you did as Jay, if you're responsible for some of the stuff. But yeah. So that was definitely a different outcome for me. So that was funny to watch. But other than that, not too much. I want to play more Tony Hawk's, and I'll watch Plague Tale Requiem this fortnight to get ready for the sequel coming out.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we'll move on to the topic of the week. So like I said at the start of the show, what we'll do is our own little version of the Fantasy Draft League for video games. So what we've got is a list of 40-something games that are coming out between now, or that are supposed to come out between now and the end of the year. The way we'll do this, we did a random generator to pick at the start. I'll be going first, Griner second, then Conan, then backwards, Conan, Griner, me.
Yes, do it in snake fashion.
Snake fashion, we get to each draft a game of our choosing up until 5. We've completed our roster with 5 games. The way this works is at the end of the year, we will review how our 5 games have performed on Metacritic and see who among us is the best.
We'll have to figure out a prize or something.
There's a $50,000 cash prize. It's
$50,000 cash prize. I haven't told my wife this yet, but
no, but Griner put it up. So
we've remortgaged our house,
Zimbabwean dollars,
for the bonus XP Fantasy Draft League. So we'll go through this. So I'll go first. We don't want to go through the whole list of games. Do we just look at the list we've got and then
just call them out? Just call them out.
Start with our first draft. All right. My number 1 draft pick is what I believe will be the number 1 game of the year, the number 1 game of all time, The Last of Us Part 1, coming September 2nd on PS5 and
even
PC
its name
as well.
Part 1.
Yeah, I love it. Obviously, this is kind of a cop out. It's a bit of a safe bet. You assume this isn't going to get horrible scores. I hope it doesn't come out very buggy or some mess. Naughty Dog don't seem likely to do that, but I don't see how I can go wrong with this. This is my most anticipated game of the year, and
Do you remember when everyone was keen for the GTA trilogy remake that was going to come out, and then
that's it.
This is a different story.
I would love to think there's a revolt against this game and the needlessness of it, and that everybody review bombs it. I hope we get that just for.
We are not going off the fan score.
Doesn't matter.
Critic score only for this one.
I just hope he changes the rain effects, and so it's just glare every time it rains.
Now, obviously, there is. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people that get a bit jaded against this game, so I hope it doesn't affect the score too much. But I think this will review quite highly when people realize how much this was actually needed. So,
all right,
yeah.
Well, we got it on record.
We do.
I feel like I know what your pick will be. What is your first pick?
I mean, considering it goes on Metacritic score, there is a strategy there, but I think, I mean, look, the original God of War, I loved that game. I really, really enjoyed it. It reviewed really, really well, and I'm hoping this one's going to review better. Like, I'm hoping this one is a really good follow up and solves any issues people had with the original. Yeah, and it's one of the few big games coming out for the end of the year. It's probably the biggest game coming out for the rest of the year.
I would say so. definitely.
Yeah,
like
I'm going to go
cannibals.
for God of War Ragnarok as my first pick.
See, now, obviously, I'm a big God of War fan.
You'd think you were if you would have taken it, right?
I'm not super confident in Ragnarok. There's a
Bull
seed.
crap. Yes,
No,
you
no, no,
are.
no, no. There's a seed of doubt in my mind. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I think it'll review really well. I don't think it'll review as well as the first God of War. I feel like that took a lot of people by surprise.
Hmm.
It's changed game directors from the start. It's not like it was mid development or whatever. They have decided to change directors for the sequel. Corey Barlog is still working on the second one, but I don't know. I just I don't feel right about it for some reason. Otherwise, it could have been my first pick. But yeah,
Fair enough.
Conan, what is your first draft pick for the year?
Right, Griner, it's interesting what you said. There is a strategy here about actually picking games that'll score good. And that kind of goes against every part of me here that's like, I want that game, but I know it won't do too well. And I want to
Yeah.
play that game, but it's not going to do great. So I got to get at least one in that will do well. And so for that reason, I'm going to take Spider-Man Remastered on
Oh
PC.
man,
Good.
you sung my
Smart
battleship.
pick. Smart pick.
So yeah, Spider-Man for, I think everyone knows right now, was, I don't know if it was a surprise, but did really, really well. Very
Yeah.
adored for PS4. We got a remaster coming out on PC. I don't see how this wouldn't get incredibly good reviews, judged based on the reception of the 2018 one.
And now, yeah, coming to PC. So this is out
Yeah,
in 5 days.
yeah, it's
Griner,
like it says here August 12th. It's
are you going to dip your toe into this? I
I don't
really think you would
know.
enjoy it.
I think I will too. I think I would. I don't know. The main reason I'm thinking I might not is because I am planning to get a PS5 sometime before Ragnarok, and I'm thinking I might enjoy it more as a PlayStation game.
I feel like the swinging helps with the triggers.
I mean, I'll play it with a
one.
controller anyway. I'm not a child, but yeah, I'll. I don't know. I might leave it to play on my PlayStation. I'll see.
yeah, you need some
I don't know.
you need some content to play.
Oh, that's right. I
instead of
need
just
something
one
to play on
game.
there.
Oh my god.
There's literally 2 games on there that I'm keen for. So.
No.
Wow.
Conan.
All right. So
The
yeah, I
Snake
get
Lords suggest you get.
so second pick, which is good because now I can come back and get something else that. But again, I don't even know if there's anything here that I'll take that you guys would. Actually, there is. Based on our conversation we had 10 minutes ago, I'm going to take a Plague Tale Requiem as my second pick. So this is probably more of a passion pick than anything. I just think that I don't know. The first game, its reception wasn't amazing, but I do think people saw the potential. There was a recognition that there was something good there, enough to get a sequel, and like I said, it's leaning more into the combat, which could be bad, could be good, but I think that was a
Could be
critique.
worse.
Yep, that's true. It could be. Like, I mean, we're going to see this with Last of Us. We're going to see it be the worst. Anyway, I'm hopeful for this. I think that this could be the one that people go, "Oh, this is a great franchise," and it does well. So,
I mean,
Requiem for me.
there's kind of there's a rule with sequels, and I feel like the game that sort of just fell short of being that top tier game usually follows up with what they could have done in the sequel,
Yeah.
and usually has success. While sometimes something that's a big hit in the first one usually disappoints in the second one. So
No,
yeah,
that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I think it's a reasonably safe pick, and I would have taken it if you didn't.
Hey.
For my second pick, I'm going to pick Bayonetta 3. I love the first Bayonetta. I had the second Bayonetta and I never played it, but I kind of wish I had. I traded it in. It was foolish. But I think, those games review well. I think they're some of the best character action games around. I think it's pretty safe that it's going to come out this year, so I'm going to go with Bayonetta 3 as my third choice.
Right on. Just wait, second choice, right?
Second choice, apologies, yes.
Yeah. So, Griner, you kind of took my strategy here. I know that there's a Nintendo
Bayonetta.
bias.
Oh, gee
So
whiz.
I know any Nintendo game is going to review 10 points higher than what it probably should,
All right,
which
then
is why
take Pokemon.
my strategic pick. There is Pokemon. My strategic pick for my second pick is Splatoon 3 for Switch. The first 2 Splatoon games, even though I never played them, seem to
Gotta-
be critically well received. I see no reason why number 3 shouldn't. It's been a while since 2, I believe. I know it's still a very popular game online and people play it a lot. So and I feel like there hasn't been a big Nintendo exclusive for a while.
Yeah,
So I think people are hungry for it. And
it's a good
yeah.
choice.
Right on.
So, as we said, Solid Snake rules. So my third pick, technically, I think I will go with. Oh, I'm I'm gonna take Metal Hellsinger. Um,
Mm.
so it's coming out soon, next month actually. Obviously there's the beta out. Grinders played it. Says it was good. I still haven't touched it, but um, the stuff I saw of it looked really fun, and I feel like it's a game that, while not everyone will play it, I think the people that will play it will find a lot to enjoy there. So
Yeah, they'll get into it. I think so.
yeah, so I am keen to play it once it does release, and the soundtrack's dope from what I've listened to.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's my pick for number 3. Griner, back to you.
Oh, I gotta find one now. We're getting into the weeds.
I mean, all the good ones have no date.
Like, do I
Ooh, take a risk.
do I have any confidence that Breath of the Wild 2 will come out this year?
No chance.
I don't
Only
think
drop.
I can do it. I don't think I can take that risk.
Oh, I forgot that's coming out.
I go for Mario and Rabbids. Do I continue down the Nintendo path? I quite liked the first game. Like, it was pretty good, and I feel like it's a bit of that case where the sequel might surpass the original and do really well.
I think of you when I hear about Mario Rabbids because I know you played
It's
it.
a grinder game.
You enjoy it. Yeah, it is to me. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, honestly,
everyone
at the
enjoyed
time,
it.
I was just looking for something to play on my Switch.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's not the best game ever made.
So is that your pick?
No, I might go.
Still Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I don't know if Pokemon games review that highly. I don't. There's like, for me, Pokemon games. People who like Pokemon games, buy Pokemon games. People who don't. I don't know how they review.
And I feel like
Good
with
point.
the amount of Pokemon games we've had recently, I feel like
That's
it's
right.
in the last year we've had 3 or 4 that did all right, but people had issues with.
You're
Them
a fan of Atreus, though, weren't you?
Arceus was
Arceus?
excellent. And if I'm going to buy Pokemon Scarlet, like, I am going to buy it because I think I like the Pokemon games. My wife really likes Pokemon games. She likes watching me play the Pokemon games, which is a rare thing. There's not many games she'll sit and watch me play. So that is advantageous for me. So I'm going to get it. I don't know whether they review great. I'm going to go for Slime Rancher 2, a game that you guys will know nothing about, I'm sure.
What the hell is this?
So I played the original Slime Rancher. You collect slimes and ranch them. I don't know. It's a very cute game where you are managing a slime farm, essentially, and you're collecting slimes of different varieties, breeding them together, and making byproducts from that. And it's a really good one of those, and I think it has a really cute art style, but like as like a farming sim, it was really cool. And I think Slime Rancher 2 might just improve on that. And I think the original reviewed fairly well. I'm pretty interested in Slime Rancher 2, and I think it will review highly. So I'm going to put it as my number 3.
Funny story about Slime Rancher 2. I in the Xbox conference last year, I did the reacts by myself for it, and it came on, and I said this looked like a kiddie game, and there was someone in the comments who viciously defended that game as a game for all ages, and that I shouldn't be such a judgy person, and that I should
Really good point that
review my
person made.
personal biases, and I apologized to him, and I watched it back, and I was like, yeah, that actually does look kind of funny. So
like, it definitely has a cutesy art style, and I think that obviously at first glance looks really cute, but when you realize that you're setting up a factory farm that's forcing 2 different slimes to mate with each other so that you can get a byproduct that you want, there's a sinister side to that. It's
pretty R-rated.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I don't know. Those management sims are interesting to me, and that one seemed like a really good one, and I really hope their sequel just improves on everything they were doing.
Yeah. Conan, what is your third pick?
All right, well, this is great actually. I get my third and fourth. These are passion picks more than anything. I really don't know how they're gonna go.
Scorn incoming.
Which one?
Scorn.
Oh,
No?
of course it is. Yeah. So number 3 is going to be Scorn.
Yes.
I have no idea what's going to happen with this. It could be super mediocre, but it
It's
just
been
looks
in
wonderful.
development for a long time. It looks really good. It looks
It's-
gross.
I'm
Conan,
gonna
Really
give-
gross,
Conan
actually,
can't
but-
resist that phallic imagery. That's
I can't.
Yep.
It speaks to me. I'm
Yep.
drawn to it with arms and mouth wide open. So we'll take Scorn as number 3. And then number 4 is Callisto Protocol.
Damn it! Damn it! I was like,
I think that's a risky one personally.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think these could really go either way. Like,
Yeah.
especially even if Callisto Protocol is really good, I can see it getting some flack and people saying it's just Dead Space again.
Yep.
And so, or if it's just a bad game, it's bad. So I don't know. I got to be true to myself. I'm super excited for these two.
Callisto Protocol totally slipped my mind when I went through my first 3, and then I noticed it, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot that's coming out this year." And I was like, "I hope no one noticed it there."
No one else
And I was like, Conan gets 2 picks. He's totally gonna get Scorn in Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, look, I'm a man of simple traits and pleasures.
Yes. Yep.
So that's it. I'm happy with those.
I think they're pretty good picks. I'd be surprised if Callisto Protocol is bad. I think it was the strongest showing from the Xbox showcase this
Definitely,
year.
yeah. I agree. It looked really, but yeah, there's a chance it goes all bad. That's much like Callisto itself. Everything goes wrong. It could happen.
Yes, exactly. Griner, your 4th pick.
Is there a world where Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 comes out this year?
Again, I think that's no chance. I think 5 months left. 5 months left. We've only got that one trailer so far, and then no mention of it at the Xbox showcase this year. They would have shown it if we were getting a release date this year. I think that's a. Also, Slime Rancher 2 has no date, so that's another risky one.
It's fall 2022.
Okay.
It's a small game. I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident it'll hit. It's in the no date section for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think Senua's Saga.
Yeah, Advance Wars 1 and 2 reboot camp. I'm just not sure if it's going to come out. It's been delayed due to the conflict in Ukraine, and I just don't know whether they. I don't know what they do. I don't know whether they bring it out this year because I want to put it as a pick because I think it's going to review well. The original Advance Wars games are excellent, and I think a remake of those will go really well on Switch. Just don't know if that's a risky choice because it's done apparently. Apparently it's ready to go.
Yeah.
It's just because of okay, that is a weird spot.
Man, there's a lot of interesting choices, and I don't know what. I want to ask you guys your opinion. The thing is, you're not going to give me advice because you're against me.
You've brought it up several times, so I think it's in your heart.
How about let's pull an audible. Let's go for 7. I feel like
picks?
we're cruising through, so let's go. Let's expand it to 7 picks each.
All right, I'm going to go for Mario and Rabbids. I think the first game was good. I think this game can be excellent.
Can be the best.
It was just
game of the year. Move over Elden Ring.
It was a really good strategy game. There was nothing I didn't like about the first one. It was just maybe a little simple, and that's again a good formula for a sequel, right? There's room there for them to improve on it, make it better. I'm going for it.
Yep.
Do it.
So, my 4th pick. I feel like this is a safe option. I don't think it's going to blow anyone away, but I don't think it's going to be bad at all. My 4th pick will be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Ooh.
I mean, I play these games every year. It's been quite a while since there's been a Call of Duty game that I thought was not great. Black Ops 4, I'm looking at you. But they're pretty strong. This one, Modern Warfare, the remake of that, it was probably one of the stronger ones in the last decade or so. Modern Warfare 2 was very popular. They're obviously following a few things from that story again, so I think this will be quite popular, and I hope it's going to review well.
I don't know about that. I feel like the worm has really turned on Call of Duty over the last 12 months. I don't know. Vanguard was just so lackluster, I feel like. And
yeah, Vanguard was a bit. Yeah, exactly. But it's still reviewed pretty well, I think. I still think it's in the 80s or whatever,
maybe
or high
you're right.
7s. But I think this one will be good. This is back with I
Infinity Ward.
Infinity Ward, who are usually their strongest developers. So this should be all right. Now, my number 5 pick. I'm torn between. I feel like Pokemon is another safe pick,
Mm,
but and this one, it's 2 years ago you put this one. This is near one of the top of my list because I feel like it's a safe pick. But I don't know now about Overwatch 2. I feel like
yeah, that's an
it has a
interesting.
lot going against it. So I don't know. And from people I know that are big Overwatch fans, it doesn't seem like there seems to be too much that
There doesn't seem to be much passion there for it.
or anything that's different. And all the stuff going on with Activision Blizzard just is a bit yikes for me to want to draft onto my team. So I don't want that kind of baggage. So I feel like my number 5th pick, I will go with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Okay. I was going to take it next if you didn't.
Get that Nintendo bias.
No, you got to pick one. You either Scarlet or Violet. You don't get both.
Oh, I don't know. Scarlet.
I like the red Pokemon.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, did you guys see that? You didn't see anything about this recently, did you?
No.
So
What?
the most recent trailer for these games, Scarlet and
No.
Violet. So the 2 legendary Pokemon turn into motorbikes. And the
Ooh,
one in
that's
Violet, the
interesting.
one in Violet uses his wheels and you can ride him. The one in Scarlet runs despite having wheels. It's stupid. You should look this up.
Oh, okay. I changed it to Violet only. And if
Everyone's
I'd
saying
known,
I wanted Scarlet before, but now I want Violet because he actually uses his wheels. It's real.
if I knew they turned into motorbikes, this probably would have been my number 2.
You should look at it. You should see. You should have a look at it. It's worth having a look at.
That is
So-
real strange.
That's my number 5. Growing up, back to you
Mm.
for your number 5 pick.
It's come around to me very quickly, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say what I'm tossing up between because you'll steal it off me.
So
Ooh,
true.
true.
So totally will.
Is there a world where System Shock, the System Shock remake,
You're
comes
just
out
going
this
to
year?
you want to be all risky with all of
I think just commit. Take every undated game.
Every undated game, you reckon?
if it pays off, you will be a legend.
I'll be such a boss if that happens.
Yes, yep.
You guys ever play Destroy All Humans?
I've heard
What?
people who play that game love that game, but
Yeah.
I never
Cool.
have.
I
It was
wasn't
like one of those
I
games that
wasn't-
was on Xbox that wasn't on. There wasn't many Xbox exclusives
No.
back in the day, and it.
No, I remember
It
playing
was
the. I remember playing the demo of it when you got demo discs.
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh, yeah, this looks cool." And I played a bit of the real game and just never got into it. But I played the demo a bunch.
I'm gonna go for Grounded.
Yeah.
Mm.
So is this the game that's been out for a while? I was a bit confused with
It's
this on the
been
list.
in early access for some time.
Okay.
It's being made by Obsidian, developers I think we all know and love.
I need
It's a survival game, that age-old genre that everybody loves. I don't know. People seem to be positive on the early access, so I'm gonna take it.
Good call. I mean, Obsidian do good things, so I can't imagine
Generally.
it'll be too. Can't imagine it'll be too bad. Yeah.
Conan, over to you for your 6. Oh no, your 5th and
Oh,
6?
5 and yeah, 5 and
Fifth and
6.
5 and
sixth.
6. Yeah.
5 and 6. Yeah, we're I have a little short list here of my stuff, and it's getting pretty thin.
Mm.
And
There's
so
a few AAA games here, but I'm just not confident in them. I feel like, yeah, I won't talk about.
no, that's it. Like that's kind of what I'm feeling. But I'm going to take this just because I'm going to take Overwatch. It's a bit of a gamble. I'm okay with having the baggage of it here because I don't know if gamers are going to really boycott this game because of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, just a quick look at Wikipedia says that the player base on this game keeps sort of growing, which is weird. So it seems to have some staying power. And if it's anything like StarCraft or like those games, this will become what everyone plays. So even if people like it's not different enough, everyone will just play the new version of the old game. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I have confidence necessarily, but I don't think it'll be like this is a terrible sequel. No one will play it. These games generally are just like they know how to improve them because they've got such a solid first example, and they're trying to keep it a relevant thing, right? They're not going to take risks. They're not going to be like, what if we include all this crazy stuff? It's usually pretty safe bet.
Yeah, and I feel like even if people don't like it because it's too similar, or don't like the changes or whatever, that doesn't necessarily translate to review scores.
Yeah, yeah. So that'll be number 5. Number 6. Kind of want to do System Shock.
We don't have a date now. I wouldn't be. I don't know. I'm a safe person. I don't like that.
I know. I talked about playing a dangerous game, and here I am being a punce. I think just judging by like its genre, I think I know what I'm going to take. I just want to. I kind of wish there was a bit more info on it. No, screw it. I'll just do it. I'll take Gloomwood. So I haven't heard about this game at all, but I just did a quick look here, and it's a stealth horror FPS in a twisted Victorian metropolis.
Ooh.
Plug it straight into me.
That is a Conan game if I've ever
That's
heard one.
exactly. So this sounds really cool. It's got a bit of a not janky, but like a sort of a simplistic art style. So it's not going to be like Bloodborne levels of beautiful gothic horror detail, but just what it's got here looks really cool. It I don't know, kind of got like Thief vibes and like Deus Ex sort of feel. And yeah, all that genre.
It seems like it's very much from that era.
Yeah, and like those games are pretty cool. So if they're making one of those, I'm keen for that. It looks everything. The more I look about it, read about it, the more I'm into it. So
yeah,
put me down for Gloomwood.
So that was your 5th and 6th.
Yep.
Griner.
All right, I'm going to take Dragon Quest Treasures. I think I don't know. There's people that like those games and they review really, really well. So I don't know. I've never been into them, but
they're very popular. They're very popular amongst people that like them games. So that is your 6th pick. I've never played one of them, but
no. But I get the Nintendo bias too, so that's an
exactly
advantage.
Another Nintendo
sure.
Playing
a smart game.
My 6th and 7th one. My 6th game, I think I will go with. That's risky. I don't believe in those games. So I will go with my 6th one, Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide.
That was on my short list, yeah. On my long list, rather.
Don't know anything about these games, but I know they're popular amongst you PC nerds.
I was going to take it next, but you got it.
So, yeah, they seem to be, well reviewed as far as I know, or they're people like them.
I believe it's the Warhammer 40k version of Vermintide, which is the Left 4 Dead style game that they made for the other side of Warhammer. So.
Yeah. And then my 7th pick.
This is your final, remember, so you can't screw up.
It's my final one. I will go with Gotham Knights.
Oof.
Now,
you feel confident about this?
No. I don't. Like, here's the thing. When I was thinking earlier of 2 games that I feel like could go either way that were AAA, it's Saints Row or Gotham Knights. The more I see of Gotham Knights, the more I'm not hyped. But I got to have some faith in that developer. They made the Arkham games. They were really good. It could be a lot of fun. It could be fun playing 4-player, multiplayer online, each as a hero. The combat's going to be good no matter what. I'm not optimistic in this game at all. This is a risky one. But if they nail it, then it'll be good.
It'll be a home run.
Griner, your 7th pick?
7th pick, final pick. I'm going to go Soul Hackers 2. Developed by Atlas, who brought us Persona. It's the Shin Megami Tensei series, which I have heard of, and I've heard people talk about in whispered tones because it's very revered. So I'm down to put my name against it. We'll see.
I'm a
Fair
big
enough.
Persona fan, but have not heard of Soul Hackers 2. So, Conan, this will be your seventh
This will be my 7th. Yep.
and final pick.
I think I know what I'm going to have to take. I've done very personal picks here. I haven't really had to compromise much. And maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. Just having a quick look over the list, see if there's anything I forgot.
It's like, oh, Grand Theft Auto 6 in December. I didn't realize that.
Well, I could just pick that, right?
Bargain.
It is coming somewhere. It might be this year. Could get lucky. Goat Simulator. I could pick that. That'll get probably a good follow.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. I really do want to take all three of there's 3 no-date games here that I'm pretty keen for. Sorry, I just want to look what I have real quick to see if I can afford a risk.
So you have Spider-Man remake, a remastered, Gloomwood, Overwatch 2, Plague Tale Requiem, Scorn, and Callisto Protocol.
It's
a pretty solid list.
It is, but I don't know if that's guaranteed 10s or anything. So I don't know if I can afford that. No, look, I'll take Evil West. I'll stick with the theme. That's again my thing. Western cross with weird supernatural elements.
It looked good at the Xbox show. I thought it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at the company that made it, Flying Wild Hog. There's nothing here none of their games excite me or even really know about. So this is really a blind pick just on the flavor, but
awesome.
Could be cool.
So, since we're kind of making up rules as we go, something as a fun twist, I'm deciding to add to this. This is called the poison pick. So we'll each get to pick a game to put onto somebody else's that we think will bring their score down. So we'll go in the. Oh, you're on mute, Grana.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, should we pick a game we think is going to be bad, and then we get the inverted score of it for ourselves?
Ooh.
But yours is a bit meaner.
Yeah, I like being mean.
Okay.
So we'll go in the same order. So, Grana, I'll pick a game for you. You pick a game for Conan. Conan, you pick a game for me.
Okay.
So, my poison.
It's Conan's turn. It's Conan's turn, though.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So should we go then back the other way? Same as so Conan, you, me, and then me, Conan. Okay. All right, Conan, you pick your poison pick for Grana.
Should we make? No. Yeah. Okay.
If it doesn't come out, what happens?
I mean, if it doesn't come out,
is that an immediate 0 or?
No, I mean, if it doesn't come out, it's not included in the average. So, I mean, there's not much risk there. So, you want to pick a game that you think will bomb.
Because I was going to say, just Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild easy. Okay, so what's a terrible game? I was not expecting this, so I
was going to say, Conan, you already picked some of the worst ones, I think.
I mean, I was going to pick Gotham Knights as a poison, but I was like, oh, that's right, I picked it.
Or I'll pick it as my favorite.
Yeah.
I really don't know anything about these games.
Are you Googling these games?
I know it's not good listening material, but I have no idea what half these things are.
Neither do I. I'm just going to go off whatever I think sounds the worst.
Thing sounds awful.
I mean, come on, 2 Point Campus comes out tomorrow. I haven't heard anything about that.
I looked at that before.
There is already reviews out for it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Are they bad?
No, not really. It's getting 8s.
Dang it.
Wow.
Safe pick.
2 Point Hospital was very good. I think 2 Point Campus will be good too. You guys just sleep on strategy games, so
it's true.
I do.
They're just not my thing. This is a game that actually I did see that looked pretty rubbish. Yeah, that's good, Grant. I'm going to give you Session Skate Sim.
Oh, I'm down. I nearly picked that for
myself.
That's
really?
So did I. I was like, that could be really good, man. Like, it seems what people look at as like the Skate sequel. that they
Yeah,
wanted all
I
these
feel like
years. But
skating games though have never surpassed like what they did 20 years ago. Maybe look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's what wins Grinder this whole draft.
Let me just check one thing.
Grona, are you putting that for me as my
Yeah, I think
poison
I
pick
am.
already?
I think I am.
Destroy all humans too.
I think I am. Hold on.
You're not looking up scores for.
No. I just want to check. There's another game that looked pretty bad, and I just want to check whether it looks bad, worse than Destroy All Humans too. No. I'm going to give you Destroy All Humans too. I don't know. I think that's a weird. I don't know. I don't think the original was like a well reviewed game. I don't know that anybody wants this game.
Made a sequel. We've already made it
but
once.
who knows why?
I'll happily take Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. So Conan, I'll finish up with my poison pick for you, and you'll get what you wanted. Your poison pick is Goat Simulator 3.
Yes. Bring it. Oh, watch that come around and be
In perfect tense. It's
a
like a
masterpiece.
There is a chance. I think there's a chance that that developer has a pedigree.
What was that goose game, that duck game, whatever it was?
Goose
Untitled
Game.
Goose. That's very different
Untitled
than
Goose
this, though,
Game?
I think.
It is very different, but
okay, if you say so.
I was just because I knew you'd love it. I was going to give you Saints Row, but
Oh god,
can we talk? Why did nobody pick Saints Row? Do you guys think it's going to do poorly, or?
I truly do.
I think it'll be average.
Yeah, I think so too.
But see, it was that or Gotham Knights where I was like, it could go either way. I think people could really enjoy Saints Row, but I felt like Gotham Knights was safer. And then I'd take a risk to give Conan Saints Row. But I'm pretty confident that Goat Simulator will bring his score down a little bit.
I can't wait to prove you wrong. I'm excited.
Maybe it'll be the goat. Who knows?
It'll be the goat.
The goat of all time. So
It's in the name.
Exactly. What am I thinking?
Should
Well,
we
that's
we
our
have a quick?
team.
Should we have a quick recap for everyone?
Yes.
Sure.
So,
So Luke has The Last of Us Part 1, Splatoon 3, Metal Hellsinger, Gotham Knights, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Warhammer 40k Dark Tide, and as the poison pick given to him was Destroy All Humans 2.
yes.
Griner has Soul Hackers 2, Grounded, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Bayonetta 3, God of War Ragnarok, Dragon Quest Treasures, Slime Rancher 2, and was poison picked Session Skate Sim. And Conan has Spider-Man Remastered, Gloomwood, Evil West, Overwatch 2, Plague Tale Requiem, Scorn, Callisto Protocol, and his poison pick was Goat Simulator 3.
Yes. So,
Eclectic lists.
there are teams. Let's see how they go.
Now you all have to play those games.
Oh no! Oh, so many Nintendo games. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. I feel like it should be pretty even across the board. It looks like it'll be a pretty solid year. I don't think there's anything in here that will get a perfect 10 or anything like that.
No.
You don't think The Last of Us Part 1 will get a perfect 10?
No, it'll get marked down a little bit.
Because of the biases.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's bias against PlayStation. I think it'll get low 90s. Low 90s, which is still very good, obviously.
I mean, when it's not that far away, we'll know soon.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, it's 3 weeks. And Ragnarok, I think, is also could be the highest.
Marvel's Midnight Suns. That would have been a good one to give as a poison pick. That game looks absolute trash.
I was going to do that.
I was thinking about that, yeah.
I thought you were going to do it to me. You're going to be like, since you like Marvel so much, he's
sure, yeah.
But, because isn't that not like a mobile game that's been ported or something like that? I don't know too much about it.
No.
But it doesn't look great from what I know. So, yeah. I mean, Tactics Ogre Reborn, I think a few people are keen for that. But, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Well, that is all for our first ever Fantasy Draft League Gaming 2022 thing, Majig. If you liked hearing us talk about video games, you'll love hearing us talk about movies. On our other podcast, The Good, the Bad, and the Worst, we usually review and rank movie trilogies, sometimes quadrilogies, quintrilogies, and sometimes just random movies that come out that tickle our fancy. Um, this podcast is brought to you, as always, by The Taste of Iron by
My
Mr.
own Evil
CP.
West.
Yes, this would have been in my top 7 picks. Maybe my poison pick for someone who knows. I don't-
Rude.
no, you can find that on Amazon for paperback versions or on Kindle. Follow us on social media at Bonus XP Podcast or at Good Bad Worst. Like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Tell your mum. Tell your dad. Tell everyone. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Yeah.